What's up, everybody? This is once again Dr. Remy LeBeau, and I'm here in the X layer to once again swoop into your rescue during one of the most difficult times of your life, going through withdrawals from not having enough X-Men statues in your life. Today, I thought I'd provide you with a temporary remedy to your ailments with the brand spanking new X Factor Iceman statue. Yay! X Factor Iceman, X Factor Iceman, finally home. Woohoo! Hope that wasn't too loud of a woohoo. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, he came out exactly as was promised. Beautifully sculpted and completely translucent. So this is the last piece of the X Factor set that Bowen Designs has been working on for almost like 2 years now. If one were to include the Archangel statue that they created, I don't know, like 4 or 5 years ago, in the set, then one could say that they've been working on the set for like 5 years. So it's been like 5 years coming that this set was, promised to be complete, and now finally it is complete. It looks great. Freaking love it. First I got Archangel, then I got Jean. Jean was a surprise. Loved getting Jean. X Factor Cyclops came next. Fantastic. He looks great. A few months ago, I got X Factor Beast. Y'all got X Factor Beast as well. You saw how great that came out. And then finally, we were waiting on this guy here, the translucent Iceman statue. So this statue was sculpted by the Gutierrez brothers, everybody's favorite sculpting brothers. I know they're my favorite sculpting brothers. They actually sculpted the Beast statue as well. So I think Randy Bowen commissioned them to kind of just complete the set, and it was a really great choice on his part because A, they do great work, and B, this needed to get done. And these guys get things done, if nothing else. But they do a lot more than just get things done. But nonetheless, they are able to get a lot of stuff out pretty consistently, which is awesome because they're very talented, and I'm very happy to get everything they make as soon as it's released. Alright, so let's check this guy out as far as like for the information on the base. So we got 100. This is number 114 out of 300. There were only 300 of these made. That's not a lot, as you all know. I think Beast, there were maybe like 250 Beast statues and maybe, I don't know, I think 500 Jeans and somewhere in between for Cyclops. So ultimately what this means is that there's going to be, for those looking to make a complete X Factor set, there's only going to be 250 of them because Beast is going to be the one with the lowest edition size. But I have a feeling that a lot of people are going to get this statue on its own just because it's like a very cool statue. And so this one I think will wind up maybe kind of limiting the amount of potential sets that could exist in the world. So I don't know. I mean, as of right now, people are like still deciding, do I want the X Factor set? Do I not want the X Factor set? So, there's still some statues out there, but I have a feeling that pretty soon people are going to finally commit, the people that have been on the fence about it, and a lot of these statues are going to become very rare. So if you haven't jumped on the bandwagon yet and you're on the fence, I suggest to get off of it and start hunting these down before it becomes impossible to find them. Hopefully that never happens, but it's likely to happen because these are these are great statues. It's a great era for the X-Men, and there's a lot of hardcore X-Men fans that are older, that have money, that will buy these up. So get your hands on it while you can, folks. While it's cold, while it's ice cold, get it. Alright, so this was a website exclusive, meaning that Bowen Designs put it up for sale for exclusively on their website, so only domestic buyers were able to buy them, unfortunately. And I'm pretty sure they were made to order, and so there's a window, and however many orders they get during that window will dictate the edition size. So I think that's what happened. So basically at this point, like, they should all be they should all be spoken for. So anyone that ordered one is getting one. So there shouldn't be extras out there unless people got them to sell them on eBay, which means that they'll likely be selling them at a premium. There's usually some online retailers that that tend to get some of these statues that are website exclusive. Sometimes Sideshow Collectibles has some, and there's other places. I think Big Bad Toy Store also gets them, and StatueMarvels.com sells them to international buyers. So there are ways for people to get them, but as you know, like with something like this that was put up for sale, for pre-sale like months ago, at this point, it's going to be very limited, the amount of online retailers that will have them available, and so individuals will have to go through eBay. All right, that basically takes care of my little spiel on the logistics of him and the sort of scarcity of this particular statue. So again, if the message isn't clear, isn't ice clear, if you're on the fence, get off, get the statue now before it's too late. I don't want to see really sad comments on the YouTube video comment page, because it makes me cry, and crying is difficult. You know, it's a difficult state, as you all know. Anyway, here is X Factor number 50, and you can see here we got Iceman. This is actually a cover that was done by McFarlane and Liefeld, two of the great artists from the 80s and 90s. I know people don't like Liefeld, but Liefeld, whatever. But I like him because I started reading comics when he started X-Force and when he was finishing New Mutants, and I wasn't really being critical of his anatomical choices, the way he was designing anatomy. I was just like loving the art. So I will forever be a Liefeld fan. And this is number 50, X Factor number 50. And you can see here Iceman is wearing his power belt, which is the belt that he's wearing here, and it's basically what makes him into the X Factor Iceman. So there was something going on with his powers. They were out of control, and Loki, Thor's brother, that a lot of you have gotten familiar with recently in the Avengers film, if you're not a comic book fan or haven't watched any of the cartoons or really haven't been paying any attention the last like 30 years, or even longer than that, because he comes from Norse mythology. So anyway, I digress. He actually gave Bobby Drake, Robert Drake, one of the original 5 X-Men, as you see him here clearly, that this power belt to control his power. And so this happened during X Factor, and so that is what sort of, you know, defines this particular version of the statue as X Factor. There's another version of this particular statue coming out probably in the next month or so. It's going to be him with the X belt, and I think his arms are positioned differently. He may have an ice ball, he may not, but that's going to be another clear version of Iceman in this pose, slight variation of it. That's going to make 3 clear Iceman statues, the original being the clear Iceman that was on the slide, on the ice slide base, which was released, I don't know, 6 years ago now or something. I have it on my YouTube page. You can find it on there, and I'll try to link to it on my video if I remember to do so. But that one, so the unfortunate situation about these clear Iceman statues is that they're all pretty rare. Like this one, as I said, was a website exclusive. There's only 300. Equals rare. The clear Iceman on the ice slide base, I think there's like 350 of them. There might even be only 250 of that one. That one's already really hard to find. It's pretty expensive on the secondary market. So that one's a rare one already. And then the third version of this the third clear statue that's coming out, which is the one I mentioned that's coming out in about a month, that was actually put up as a Collectors Club exclusive on the Bowen website. A Collectors Club exclusive is even more exclusive than a website exclusive. It's sold only through the Bowen Design site, and you can only buy it if you are already an existing Collectors Club member, which means that you've paid the annual $25 fee, which gives you 20% off all your purchases, and also access to purchase Collectors Club exclusives when they come up for sale, which is very rare. They're few and far between. They're just sort of like a way for Randy Bowen and company to thank, you know, the fans, the dedicated fans that are members of this club. So if I remember correctly, over the last maybe 2 years, there's only been two Collectors Club exclusives. That one is the Iceman statue is coming out very soon, and the other one was this very cool, like, translucent infinity bust, which I think is fairly large, and it represents the character Infinity, which is one of these like cosmic characters that has appeared, in like Silver Surfer and all the various titles or story arcs that have to do with like the sort of the cosmic characters and all the madness that goes on up there. I think he might even be part of the recent Infinity big Marvel story crossover that's happening right now. Right now it's roughly September of 2013. So anyway, once again, I digress. The point was that it's very rare to get a Collectors Club exclusive, and so the next Iceman statue that's coming out is going to be extremely rare. If you weren't able to order one when they were first put up for sale, it's going to be very hard to get one. The people that were able to buy that statue were limited to buying two. I think it was made to order. So I have a feeling that any that will pop up on eBay will be going for relatively high prices. Some of you, I haven't posted Retro Cable yet, the Retro Cable statue, which is Cable in his retro garb on the Sentinel head base. But I will. That one was a Collectors Club exclusive. That one sold out super fast. There's only 250 of them. It's super hard to get it now, and I've seen them go over $1,000 online. They were originally like $350 retail. So Collectors Club exclusives tend to increase in value quite a bit, especially if they're if they're popular characters and they're sought after, like Iceman is. So unfortunately, for those that might be seeing these videos, it's going to be difficult for you to get your hands on these statues if you haven't already gotten your hands on them, unless you're willing to pay the premium. All right. Anyway, another important thing to mention is that the other clear variant of this statue that's coming out in a month has a regular version that's not translucent, is opaque and painted, and looks very cool. So if you're just looking, if you like the sculpt itself and you just want to get it into an X-Men set or an X-Men collection, or however you want to include it in your collection, there are options. So if you're not Mr. or Mrs. Crazy collector that must have the most sought after pieces that are hard to find and are willing to do anything to get them, like, there are options, and that is one of them, and it looks very cool. I've seen photos of it online. I don't have it personally because I did order the clear version, and so for those that didn't get the clear version, that's available. Go get that one. It'll make you happy. I'm sure it will. The people that have it seem to be happy with it. And then one other variant of this particular exact sculpt will be the original team Iceman statue, which is coming out, I don't know, maybe hopefully within the next 3 months or so. That one's not going to be transparent, and it's going to be like very rough. Like, it's not going to be smooth like he is here. It's just going to represent Bobby in sort of like his original X-Men state, in which he wasn't able to control his powers well enough to kind of just smooth himself out, like kind of have a layer of ice over him, even though later he actually did turn into ice completely. Anyway, I digress. The point is, there is another Iceman variant of this coming out. There's an Iceman variant of the forthcoming translucent Iceman coming out. That's going to make 6 Iceman statues, because there's also an opaque painted version of Iceman on the ice slide. So there's another one. There's one of those, which some of you may know about, some of you may not. I don't have that one, but it exists. It's out there. It's less expensive than the translucent ice slide base Iceman. That's another option for you. 6 Iceman statues by Bowen Designs. 1 Iceman statue by Sideshow Collectibles. Translucent, but not that cool. The design was a little bit off, if you ask me. Other people like it. I'm sure it has sort of like a cool presence, and and quality in person. I haven't seen it in person, but just based on the photos I've seen, for me, it's just it's kind of like a missed opportunity because it's 1/4 scale, and it just would have been really nice to get like a very nice like 1/4 scale translucent Iceman. But the Sideshow may rectify the situation at some point in the future. Who knows? All right, the statue itself, finally, huh? It's only been what, 15 minutes. Um, the statue itself, awesome. As I mentioned, it's a very nice sculpt. It's very simple. The Kucherek brothers always do a great job with anatomy, so the anatomy is fantastic. Some of the standout features. First of all, the base is like blue. It's not as metallic-y a blue as the X Factor Cyclops statue is, but it's pretty much the same color, so it does like complement it well within the set, which is nice. But one thing I really like about the base here is that they threw in a little bit of like kind of melted ice clumps throughout the base, and what's really interesting is that they kind of put like this purple and blue glitter on it, which gives it a really nice effect. It kind of gives it that like that glittery sort of effect that you get from snow, especially snow that's like been just icy snow outdoors when it snows. I've seen it being in California. I don't see it often, but I have seen it in person, believe it or not. This does kind of capture like that effect, and I think it's wonderful that they did that. They didn't need to go that extra step. I'm glad they did. It's beautiful, and it really just adds more of a nice quality to an already sort of impressive, definitely impressive piece. So super happy about that. They put an ice ball in his hand there, which is very cool, and the ice ball is made of the same material as the clumps on the base. So it's kind of like painted resin that's hard and has a glitter on it. So it looks really cool. It's really nice. Love it. Of course, we've got the power belt, which is resin also, and it's not transparent. Obviously, shouldn't be. And it's painted very nicely in like a silver kind of like a dull sort of metallic-y gray, just making it look kind of like relic-y, which is probably what it is, some sort of old relic that Loki dug up. Looks great. Looks great on the very translucent statue. And I think the only other thing that's painted on it is his eyes. His eyes were painted white. Very nice. Overall, like the statue is beautiful. It's transparent, exactly as you would expect it to be. There's some marks throughout it that might be factory imperfections. They probably are because the box that it came in was like super tiny, and everything was nicely packaged. So I mean, it didn't happen while it was in transit. So with a statue like this, like my Iceman on the ice slide also kind of has like little scoffs throughout it and maybe some imperfections within it. I guess it's difficult to get like sort of a perfect translucent statue. But maybe not. Maybe I did just happen to get one that's got a few extra scoffs on it. But really, ultimately, it doesn't matter because it looks great overall. It looks great within the set. The face is fantastic. It's such a great like Bobby Drake face that kind of like reminds me of like a Jim Lee design of Bobby. So it's just like there's nothing about it like in terms of the design of the statue that is bad. It's like dead on, perfect, love it. As I said, it looks great within the X Factor set. I've got a photo of it on my blog post. So if you click on the blog post link, which is going to be, I'm pretty sure it's going to be right here on the frame that you're looking at. That'll take you to my page on my blog, and you should be able to check out the close-ups I took of it, as well as the group pic that I have of him with the rest of X Factor, which looks fantastic. And that's pretty much it, folks. Let me give him one last twirl for you. There he is. Clear Iceman X Factor statue by Bowen Designs. Got it today. Super happy. I also got the Bishop statue today, so if you watch the Bishop video, I got both of these the same day, and I'm shooting them back to back. So it's a double feature for those that are catching them as they're first being uploaded. So it's a lovely Bowen day here in Southern California, also sunny. Um, uh, Super happy as a collector. My X Factor set is finally complete. Yay! And I look forward to the next Iceman statue coming in about a month. I'll be sure to post some stuff on that one, of course, for all you Bowen X-Men fans out there. That's pretty much it. So thank you so much for checking out the video. Thank you for checking out my YouTube channel. It is Dr. Remy LeBeau's X-Lair. Thanks for checking out my blog. It is X-Men Statues of Future Past .blogspot.com. If you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, please do so. It's just a way for you to keep up on the various new updates I have on both existing statues that I have in my collection and statues that I get into my collection, for those that are interested in sort of following this crazy habit I have, and maybe just becoming more aware of like what's out there for you. Or if you just enjoy watching the videos, hey, I'm here. Why not? Just come by and check them out. Have a good time. That's it, folks. As always, it would behoove you to put an X in the box because ain't nobody checking me. And that's it. Take care. Catch you soon. Bye-bye.